Okay, next on the list, let's check out what happened to these spells. Okay, so previously, Reap the Whirlwind cleared 1 overtime on me for 2 Stormblades on me. And now it clears 1 overtime on me for 2 55% Stormblades on me. Okay, I'm cool with that. That's just a, clarification of what they mean. Storm Shark did 375 damage and then an additional 170 per heal overtime on me. And now it's doing 390 and 210 per overtime on me. Nice. That'd be heal overtime, not just any overtime, it has to be heal overtime. So not only did the damage go up by 15, but the additional damage per overtime on myself went up by 40. That's nice. Okay, Iron Sultan was 948 divided by however many enemies you're hitting, and now it's 1092. And the only difference between these two is one is no PvP, no advanced combat. The other one is, yes, advanced combat. There you go. I definitely like the increase in damage. And Triton did 590 to 730 damage and then cleared 2 heal overtime on the target for 255 blades from moi. And now it does 707 to 745 damage, clearing 2 heal overtime on the target for plus 60% blades. And I believe these are chromatic blades, so whatever the caster is, that's what blade you'll get. Frostbeetle did 65 damage, and then Gambit, aka uses up 1 shield of mine to put a minus 55% shield on me. And now it does 60 damage. Alright, so the damage went down by 5, but the shield amount went up by 10%. So bigger shield, less damage. And Colossus did 555 damage, the tier that I'm on, and then it Gambit up to 3 shields on myself for plus 35% traps on the target. Now it does 15 less damage, still Gambits to 3 shields, but those traps went to 50% instead of 35, so those went up by 15 each. Nice, nice, nice. I like it. And Kelvin's Icy Gaze did 1035 damage, or Gambit 4 shields on myself for doing 1700 damage. So the damage is still the same, but the conditional damage went up by 235. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot, actually. Alright, so Hero of Chrysalis used to do 880 damage after 5 rounds, and now they dropped it way down. Way down. It doesn't even do 880 at max. That's really sad to those who'd already maxed it out. Sad. And Minotaur used to do 25 and 410 damage. And now it does 30 and 395 damage. So they kind of took some of the damage off of the second hit and put it on the first one. And it used to clear up to 3 shields on the target for 35% traps. So the initial damage went up by 5 and the secondary damage went down by 15. Ay. And Fantastic Jinn used to do 1120 or Gambit 4 shields for 1850 damage. Now it does the same thing except the conditional damage is 2100. Wow. Alright. And because my Death Wizard is way too young to know this spell, Doom Oni did 1055 damage or Gambit 4 shields on caster for 1750 damage. Now it does the same thing except the damage is 1985. 1985! Yeah, let's go back in time. And finally, let's check out these Novus spells that got changed. First storm, there's Tree of Strife. Oh, well, they changed it completely. Now Tree of Strife just does damage. The bottom path, okay, I don't know, maybe people were complaining that you had to do stuff. It still costs 3 pips and a life pip, but only the bottom path is the one that, and see, this is unfair. What if I want to just do damage and I don't want Gambit charms on myself for heal over time? Just saying. When they do stuff like this, then why do I have to pay to reset it? Because it was free this weekend, but it's not now. Lovely, 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 lovely. Not cool, but at least it still costs 115 to get it to tier 3. And for ice we have Deadly Depths. Now it just does damage, and then the top path continues to just do damage, but the bottom path is the one that does damage and then clears 2 charms on the target for minus 60. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go with the top path for my ice for sure. Only needs 5 more. For Myth, Improbable Gaze now just does damage and then an additional damage, so it's basically Minotaur sure, but it's a big old whale. The bottom path is the only one that does the damage and then additional damage, plus it can use some negative wards on the target for minus 65% universal. It's just tower shield for you. And yeah, I know that these guys are all babies, but this is where those spellements are. They're in their backpack. Well, why would Genevieve keep them? She doesn't learn these spells. Star Spawn. So all of the Nova spells have turned into damage spells, it seems, and then only the bottom path is the one that does the conditional extra stuff. I don't remember Star Spawn doing that. Well, apparently I just don't remember the Star Spawn spell doing fire damage. See, this to me is an actual dual school. It does life damage, and then it'll clear 2 negative wards on the caster for a fire DOT. That's dual school. It makes sense, right? So if storm and life is Lorm, then fire and life is Liar. And like this one kind of is more of a dual school because it does fire damage and then puts a myth trap on something. But as with the rest, this one has changed to 812 damage over 4 rounds. It's protected, by the way. And then the upper path, the damage goes up and up and up. And the bottom path, you do less damage over 4 rounds, but it can clear up to 2 shields on the target for 50% myth traps. That's great. I love it. Gravestorm is just damage now. Sorry, let me rephrase that. It's just drain now. But it only goes up by 10 each time. That's kind of sad. And the bottom path is the one that's 3 pips and a storm pip, and you do drain, and then it can gambit up to 2 negative charms on the target for plus 70% storm blades for me. Storm. And then finally balance. Okay. Whoa. Yay. I mean, it always did the damage of all 3, but I like it anyway. It does damage, and that's it. And then 10 more damage. Only a couple of them get 15 damage increase. Ugh. And then the bottom path is the one that does less damage of life, ice, and balance. Don't you lick my face. And then Echo's shield and Echo's heal over time. So if they're really into shielding and healing, that's not a good thing to do. Very nice, very nice. 580 heal over time for 5 rounds. I don't know how many shields and heal over time it echoes though. Maybe just 1. So Tree of Strife damage got lowered, and it just says Gambit 2 charm on me for 2 heal over time on me. I was hoping that they would do the walk-thru spells the same, but maybe they're just seeing how things go first. I love the utility spells, especially on the ones that I would never use anyway. But like lightning bats for 2 pips, I do a little bit of damage, but I clear an overtime on me for a weakness on them. Glorious. Same thing as Storm Shark. I'm not going to use Storm Shark, but because Storm has so many heal over time now, I can utilize those and do more damage for only 3 pips. And by the way, of course, you can enchant all of these with your sun spells. Same thing with Kraken. I never used it, but it clears overtimes on me for a blade. That's glorious. That's fantastic. Everything about that is wonderful. The only one I did potentially use before was Triton, because look at that. Even at max over here, 920. But I can still get over 1,000 damage enchanting it with Epic and clearing the heal over time on them for 60% blades. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Gimme, 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 gimme. Thanks so much, everyone, for checking out this video talking about the spell changes that were made on the 29th of January. What did you think of these? Did you like any of them? Or are there any of them that you really didn't like? And what do you think about the fact that we have to pay for changes that they made, even though we didn't choose those? You know how I feel about it. And thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.